Alright, shed update. It is now Thursday. Last night, I didn't really get a whole lot done on the bed itself per se. However, I did construct a rather crude set of jumbo sawhorses out of trash I got from Palmer's garbage pile using rudimentary tools, by which I mean a Sawzall. So, they are rather sketchy. However, all things considered, they are not horrible, seeing as I made them from garbage with a Sawzall. So, yeah. I have to reinforce them a little bit more because the bed is just a little bit wobbly side to side. Not terribly so, but I don't really want to be underneath it hammering on it and have it fall. So, I would like to get one or two, probably two more of those kind of angle braces, one there and then one up front, so just as added insurance that it's not going to topple over. I really don't think it will, because yeah, I don't know. So that was fun. I got a bunch of guys over and we got it picked up, so now I can sit underneath and go to town on the bed floor. So, let's see here. There's a pretty good view of the main damage. It's all kind of thin and shot up in here. I mean, it looks a little better from beneath than it does from on the top, but that's just because it rusted from the top down. So, I'm gonna probably draw the line at this brace here. Either that one or that one. I'm not sure yet. We will have to see. It might be that one. I'll have to see what material or how much bed floor I have, because I recall I cut it somewhere near the middle. I don't know if it was over here or if it was over here or where it was. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of mocking up and measuring and such. But that is the general plan. So what I'm gonna do is cut the floor somewhere around the middle here, and then that way I can maybe not quite butt weld it, but have the seam be on something that's rigid. I don't really want to overlap it because I don't want to be able to see a line, but I might not have a choice. We will see. So that is the plan. I'm just gonna start picking away at this. I gotta do a couple other things. My fridge, when I left it for break, as one does, I unplugged it and had a rag holding the door open so that it wouldn't get moldy. And all my Dr. Peppers froze and exploded. So there is sticky nastiness all over here, all over the inside of the fridge. So I gotta clean that up. And my fabled jar of pickles, unfortunately, fell while I was cutting some wood and broke on the floor behind my Sun machine. So I gotta dig that out and sweep up all the pickles. Rest in peace. But yeah, once I do that, then I can go to town on Metal Fun Time. I spent all morning making pieces for the front of the cab on the bottom, kinda. So I'm just about ready to start fabricating some of the inner rockers on the truck. I'll see if I can make a video tomorrow at lunchtime again to kind of show everyone what's up. But moving along nicely in class. Hopefully I can start moving along nicely outside class on this. Alright, until more progresses. Alright, final update of the evening. Floor has been extracted. So, this is about what I'm going to be replacing, aside from some other nonsense down here. Gotta replace that kind of seam, so that's going to be interesting. Gotta fix that seam too. Then just some other nonsense along the very back edge. Otherwise, this stuff is all just going to get kind of wire wheeled Weld up a couple pinholes, pour 15 it, and bed line it. That's gonna be fine. However, in here, this is gonna require some work. So I've got these pieces off of the other bed. Same color, which is kind of fun. But as you can see, that other truck was used a little bit more. There's not much paint left. So this is crap. That is slightly less crap. And these flanges are all kind of toasty. So I'm gonna use some of this probably, but then I'm gonna make some pieces to go here. Pretty simple stuff, just flat pieces of steel, just some little strips. I'm gonna make that, because that's all pretty shot. So I'm gonna make that piece. This piece, I'm kind of bummed I'm gonna have to take this out, because this is just a little bit too rusty for me to really be okay with it. And I know that this seam is all blown apart and it's all expanded and it's shot, so that means I'm gonna have to replace some of this, which I would be more mad about. However, it's all behind the cab, so it doesn't really matter what it looks like. By which I mean I can like color match it and paint it, and I don't really have to worry about tape lines or anything because it's behind the cab. It just needs to be the sort of same color. This is actually all pretty decent, which is surprising because this was the bad corner of the bed. But this edge is not terrible, so should be able to get away with leaving that. This piece needs to be replaced. This one, quite nice. That's very good. So I'm going to use probably about that much, and that should be good. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Only instead of taking out the floor, I'm going to do it from the from inside the wheel well. So I'm going to cut out from in here and then butt weld it in, or just overlap it, or I don't know. We'll see. I'm not trying to get too cute here. Just want it to be nice. So I got this straightened out. This was some residual damage from old collision work done probably in the 70s or 80s. The story goes the original owner's wife was driving it on the corner of First Street and Main Street, and someone ran a red light and just kind of like bonked her in the bed. Apparently not a horribly hard hit, but enough to cave the bedside in, which is what all this Bondo and it's too dark, what all this Bondo and other nonsense is. But it buckled this. They never really bothered to straighten it, so I straightened it, sort of. I mean, it's a little puckered, but it's not bulged out like it was, so I'm gonna call that good enough. And I've decided to just go to this first cross support instead of the second one, because I don't really feel like drilling out all those spot welds to replace bed floor that's really not that bad with bed floor that's really not much better. The other floor is slightly more solid, but it's wavy in this section. Not as wavy as it was in the back. The other one was really wavy in the back, which is why I didn't just swap the whole floor. But it's wavy enough that it's the waviness kind of, it's equally crappy as this stuff. So I'm just gonna leave that. I went through and cut halfway along the cross support, so that way I can just butt weld it along there. I won't have a big ugly seam where it's overlapping. So that should be good. But yeah, definitely not really looking forward to replacing this piece. I have another one. I actually have two more that came out of the other bed. It's that one. So I mean, replacing it's not an issue. It's just I have to replace it, and I didn't really think I was gonna have to, but what's gonna have to happen is I gotta get some guys over, pick the bed up, move the sawhorses back here, because if I remove this, that is what's holding the bed up. And then all the stress would be on the bedside, and it would probably just collapse the bedside or crack all the Bondo off on that side, or just bend it on this side. So I really don't want to do that. So I got to get the sawhorses moved back so it's on that support. So that'll be a tomorrow task. It's like 10 o'clock, so that's not happening tonight. But moving right along, making lots of good progress.